Are you noticing something different? I'm in my home office. A lot of you haven't been here before because I typically record in my dining room or my living room. But the reason why I'm here today is because I'm trying to put a deal together and my computer is behind me and time is of the essence. I have to respond within a certain period of time. I'm waiting for my seller to respond. But it really became a topic for me on this video, which is, why are home sellers making so many bad decisions? We've been in negotiations now for over a week on this one transaction. It's absolutely ridiculous what we're going through right now. So I don't want anybody watching this video to make similar mistakes. And I'm just going to hopefully just cut to the chase. You all know that I'm a straight shooter. I don't want you to be caught making the mistakes that I see so many home sellers making right now. All right, let's get into it. The number one mistake that I see home sellers making, I know you all can guess, and that is they're overpricing their home. I mean, if I was putting my house on the market, I'd probably overprice my house too, because we all think we have unicorn homes. We got the super duper paint, or we got the super duper lot, or we put extra upgrades in it, and some buyer is just going to love it and pay above premium for it. That is not the market we're in right now. So the reason why I titled this video, hey, these are the mistakes that home sellers are making in 2025, because the market has changed significantly in 2025. And I've really felt the shift here the last 2 months. So what's different is that we have really low buyer demand, meaning there's not as many buyers that are jumping into the market for a lot of reasons. A lot of it's affordability. They just can't afford a home. A lot of it's they're just nervous about the market. Rates are up. The world's doing all the stuff that it's doing right now. So there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So there's just not as many buyers. In fact, we have the same buyer demand right now that we did back during the Great Recession. There weren't a lot of buyers jumping in during the Great Recession because they were concerned about where the housing market was headed also. Don't freak out. I'm not saying that we're going in a Great Recession. What I'm telling you is that buyer demand is at an all-time low right now. Now, back in the Great Recession, we had over 3 million homes on the market at one time. Currently in the United States right now, we have right around 1 million homes on the market in the United States of America. So we have considerably lower inventories compared to the Great Recession, but buyer demand right now is the same, which means it's extremely low. So we have higher inventories with lower buyer demand. That's an unbalanced market. So right now in most of the cities, not all cities, not all micro markets, but it's a buyer's market right now. So for you sellers out there that are trying to sell their unicorn house for top dollar and you're not negotiating and you're being very difficult in negotiations and you're being super picky about every little detail, good luck. You may not sell your home and you're going to drive your agent nuts because they're trying to do you a service by telling you the truth about what's going on in the market. Be receptive. Listen to what they're saying. And if you're getting no offers and you're getting no activity, the market has spoke. You're overpriced. I know that is so hard to hear. It's so hard to hear, but it's the truth. Okay, I get this one a lot and it drives me bonkers. And that is, I have home sellers telling me, oh, Audra, I appreciate all the feedback that you're giving me, but no one has ever said the house is overpriced. So let's just stay at our price and we're going to just wait for our buyer. Okay, folks, if you're hearing the same consistent feedback over and over and over again, things like, oh, the road noise is too loud, or I don't like the location, or the house isn't upgraded to my style, I don't want to have to redo it, or I wish there was a better view, that's code word for your house is priced too high. What they're telling you is because you have road noise, I don't want to pay your price. Or because your yard's smaller, I don't want to pay your price. Or because the house isn't as upgraded, I don't want to pay the price. So the sooner that you get on board with that feedback, the better, because feedback is a gift. 40% of all homeowners out there are reducing their list price. I didn't say they're reducing their list price by 40%. Just out of all the homeowners out there, 40% of them are reducing the price. Folks, that's a very high percentage. That means that they didn't put their house on the market for the right price. Not a good strategy, overpricing your home. Now, the biggest mistake I see home sellers making is when they do those price reductions, it's not deep enough. They'll do a $5,000 price reduction or a $10,000 price reduction. And I promise you, if your buyer was even considering making an offer, they would have already made an offer if you were $5,000 or $10,000 off your price. So you're probably going to have to go deeper, $50,000. 100,000. And I've had some of you call me and say, I've already done a $50,000 price reduction and I'm not getting any offers. I don't know what's wrong. You're still not going deep enough. And then I go look at the comps in their neighborhood. I'm like, yeah, no, you're still overpriced. So realize that if you are doing the strategy of reducing these little tiny increments, thinking you're going to fool the buyer into like, oh, come and make an offer because I'm now $5,000 cheaper. Like, folks, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars for these homes, millions in some cases. $5,000, $10,000 ain't going to do squat. And I know that seems like a lot of money, but when you're buying big price items, those are minor little like pennies in comparison to the entire offer. So if you want to get the attention and you are overpriced, significant price reductions. And if you go too deep, guess what? You're going to get multiple offers driving it above the asking price. I promise you. Oh, and by the way, when I see little tiny price reductions, I think one of two things. And most of your buyers and seasoned agents will think the same thing. They'll think, oh, okay, they're working with a rookie agent or someone that doesn't know what they're doing. And they're telling the seller, oh, seller, let's just keep reducing the price until we get offers because that's all we can do. We'll just do little ones. Okay, that's bad advice. So you're working with a rookie agent or one that doesn't know what you're doing. Or better yet, the seller is not respecting their listing agent and is dictating that we only do small little reductions. Either way, both of those are a recipe for disaster. Another mistake I see home sellers making is they don't check out the new construction in their area. Now, I have to tell you, developers and builders are smart. They're not emotional. They don't have all the memories in their new developments, right? They don't care. They just want to make a profit. So if they start to sense that the market's starting to shift or slow down, you know what they're going to do? They're going to fire sell and get rid of their units. They're going to offer massive incentives like, hey, I'm going to pay down the points on your loan, or we'll pay off those solar panels, or we'll give you a huge amount of money to go upgrade your home. We'll give you free floors and we'll do your landscaping. You as a home seller of a resale can't compete with that. Do yourself a favor, right? Go see what the builders in your area are offering. I guarantee you they're more than likely trying to incentivize their buyer to buy their home. And they're willing to do contingent offers. Why? Because they'll take any offer where you as a homeowner who's doing a resale, meaning you're reselling your departing property, don't have those luxuries. So although the prices might seem like they're competitive, they're really not because the builder's giving away so much money and so much incentives. So don't overlook that. That's going to be your number one competition. Now, I know a lot of you watching right now are probably thinking, what the heck? If it's all about price, then I'm just going to sell my house for sale by owner, or I'm going to go find myself a cheap agent and we're just going to stick it on the MLS and let her rip tater chip. Now, that's an option, but do realize your first showing is online. Okay. You need to make it shine online more now than any other time. Okay. I'm going to brag a little bit because I am so stinking proud of what I do for my clients, whether they appreciate it or not. But I want to talk about the proper marketing that listing agents should put on their listings. So I do the high-end photos, I do the videos, I do the community shots, I do the floor plans, blah, 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 blah. But when my listing goes on MLS and it gets populated to all the real estate sites, I want any buyer to look at that house and go, wow, that one is so beautiful. It's so much better than the other homes that are in the same price range. So you need to work with an agent that knows how to market your home. And what I see happening right now, a lot of you are putting your homes on the market and it's like, okay, photos. They're not really, it's not an emotional connection online. So look at your home. If you're looking at those photos and say, yeah, I'd buy my house based off these photos or these videos. And a lot of you aren't doing videos. A lot of you ain't doing floor plans. The number one way to sell your home is online. So spend the most attention on that. Stage your home properly, declutter. And if you have rooms that you're like, oh, I have a workout gym, but it's really a bedroom, then virtually stage it. You need to rely on a very seasoned agent that knows how to market your home. And if you're not currently in a situation like that, maybe you ought to consider switching agents. Just something to consider because that's how important it is. And a lot of agents right now don't want to spend all that money on photos and videos and all the stuff that I do because they're not sure the sellers are going to get on board and be realistic with their price. And so they don't want to be out all the money on that marketing. Find somebody that's committed to their brand and really cares about being a long-standing agent in the long term because they will put the money, time, and energy into you. Okay, good news. I just stepped out to take that phone call I was waiting for and I got the deal done. I'm so excited. A week of negotiation and it really came down to $3,000 if you can believe it. Now, For those of you who are watching for the first time, my name is Audra Lambert. I'm the top selling agent in my area, which is Orange County, California. And of course, if you're getting any benefit out of this video, please smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And it's going slow, but we don't give up, right? We keep pressing forward. So for you home sellers out there, don't give up. It's going to be a great year and we're all going to finish 2025 strong. All right, let's get back into it. So another mistake I see home sellers making is they tell their listing agent,
oh, well, we can put it on the market, but, if it doesn't sell for my price, then we can just rent it out.
Okay, that is the worst thing you could possibly tell your listing agent because you think they're going to put the high-end photos and spend their weekends doing open houses if they know you're not really committed to selling your home. And I suggest that if you do go to all this effort to put your house on the market, that you want to be committed. It's not a time to test the market. You want to be all in right now because you will spend the time decluttering. You will get the proper feedback and you will get top dollar in this marketplace if you decide to be all in. But if you're kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and you're hiring an agent that kind of knows you're not really committed, they're not going to give it their all because they know you're not giving it your all. Be careful and mindful of that. I always ask my home sellers this question. Are you more committed to your list price or are you more committed to moving to your next destination? And they're always like, yeah, both. God bless them. Oh my goodness. So all I can tell you is you're usually one or the other. And what usually ends up happening is it starts with, I'm committed to my price. And as the months roll on, they start getting more committed to their destination. So just take it from me. Just be reasonable with your price and you'll get to your destination. Oh my goodness. Okay. I beat a dead horse over this pricing thing. Let's talk about something new. So I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, self, would you ever go to a dentist's office and tell them, hey, I need a root canal here. I need my wisdom teeth pulled. I need you to cap this. Of course I wouldn't because I'm not the professional. The dentist is the one that's supposed to tell me what to do. And in my industry, I see a lot of home sellers and home buyers telling their agents what to do because they think they know better. And some of you probably do know more than your agents because you're watching me here on YouTube. However, you shouldn't be working with an agent that you don't trust and know that they're looking out for your best interests and can guide you properly. As you all know, I have an agent referral network, which I'll link down below. We're happy to give you some agents to interview. Most importantly, I want you to hire an agent that you trust and respect. That is so dang important. Even if you're kind of like, I don't know, it's not the right agent. You should be so blown away with their presentation, their results, and what their homes look online that you have no doubt whatsoever. A lot of you are going to hate me when I tell you this, but that broker caravan, that broker preview, it's called waste of time. Now, back in the day, us old timers used to do these broker previews, broker caravan. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, we would do this broker preview before we do the first open house. And it would be usually the first week we put the house on the market. And we invite all the exclusive brokers and their agents to this beautiful home, a private showing with just the agents and their brokers. And then those brokers and agents would go tell their buyers, we have this beautiful home you have to buy. And then they bring their buyer through an open house or a private showing. Okay, that's called old school. That's called waste of time. Because I'm telling you right now that as soon as your house goes on the market, your buyer already knows it's on the market before even the buyer's agent because they're so myopic and focused. And these broker opens are just a waste of time. Most of brokers tell their new agents, hey, new agents, go to the broker preview. Go, check out the new inventory. Get to know the area. They're not bringing their buyers in. So if you are adamant about having a broker caravan or a broker preview, make sure your agent is holding an open house during that time too. Because I'm telling you right now, the people who are going to buy your home are those buyers. And the more that you understand the power of that, the better it's going to be for you. Because those buyers are going to immediately see your house on the market. If they see an open house during the same time that broker caravan or broker preview is being held, they're going to come in and view it. And that's who you want through your open house, not the brokers or their agents. Waste of time. I hear this a lot from some of you out there where you call me and you say, listen, my listing agent, they're not advertising in Facebook and they're not advertising in the local paper or the magazines. And, I just think that's why my house isn't selling. Okay. That's old school. Like the way we sell homes is digitally online. So if your house isn't selling, I promise it's not because your agent isn't putting the proper ad in the newspaper or a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad. Now that can't hurt, but that's not the reason why your house isn't selling. It's usually price or it's presentation or both. The other mistake I see home sellers making is they put their house on the market. They're not getting the offers or the activity. It sits on the market for over 100 days. And they're like, oh, I got to take my house off the market. And then I'm going to wait 91 days. So when I put it back on the market in MLS, it'll show 0 days on market. And you think you're fooling all the buyers because it looks like a brand new listing and you're getting a whole new slew of buyers looking at it. All right. So newsflash. Anytime you do any type of alteration in MLS, it becomes a historical event on your property. So if you put your house on the market and take it off the market or do a lease or whatever, all that is detailed in the history of your property. So even if you wait that 91 days, the buyer is still going to know that your house was on the market, you took it off the market. So if you want to do all these different price changes and repackage it, you're not fooling anyone. Your buyer has full transparency as the activity in MLS. I know that's disappointing. However, it doesn't leave the property. So my recommendation is get into the market, be reasonable with your price, package it properly, and don't play these games on off market. Just cooperate with the market and you'll have success. Okay, I know that was hard to hear, and I know 2025 is really difficult right now, but it's all going to work itself out. It always does. Now, if you're having difficulty selling your home, let us know down below what kind of challenges you're faced with. I'm just curious. I'd love to hear from you all. And of course, if you got any benefit out of this video, please smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. As you know, I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and every single subscriber counts. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.